Good morning, happy Tuesday. It is the 22nd of August, and my hair is crazy this morning. Hey, for some of you guys that were in the inclusion zone, yesterday's Eclipse, yeah, it was cool. You know, I mean, everyone's talking about it. I'm not gonna make a huge deal out of it, but you know, I went outside and the things that I noticed were that you can't catch it on your phone, you can't look at it. Everyone's talking about goggles and glasses. You don't need that stuff. You just needed to, if you use your phone, you could shine it up there and kind of move it around and take quick photos, and you could catch it. It would have to be out of focus, and I managed to catch 2 or 3 different images of it that were pretty good. Some people made them out of cereal boxes and aluminum foil. But I mean, it was the cool part. The thing that I thought was really cool was the people who caught the reflections of the sun's reflection off of different objects like leaves, and you could see the little they look like little crescents, and those were really cool. Another thing that was really cool was you went out during the day. We weren't in 100% inclusion zone. We were about, I think, 97, 98, and it was cold. You know, you went out there. You know, it was about 80 degrees for the day, and it was cold. You didn't feel the heat. The sun was there. You knew it was there, and you go out there with an expectation that you're going to feel the heat from the sun, but you didn't feel it. And so that was kind of odd. You know, it's just because it goes against what you expect to feel going outside during, you know, the summertime. But other than that, that was about the extent of it. I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't the I mean, I wasn't about ready to drop $400 a night to go down to Oregon to camp out in somebody's backyard to catch the full inclusion of it, or to catch it along its path. I think it's kind of cool. You know, I love science. I love space. I love studying stars and planets and things like that, and astronomy. But I just you know, that's about the extent of it for me. I'm not heavily invested in it. I just think it's interesting. This morning I was up about 3 o'clock, and you know, I don't know if any of you parents out there have had to transition a child into their own bed, but we may have waited too long because this little monkey we put her in there, you know, and she cries, and she can get her leg up and out of the bed. So we can't leave her in the room and know that she'll stay in bed now, because she can get out of it. So, you know, it's that point where you know that, you know, she has to learn how to stay in her own bed, but at the same time, you can't leave her alone to teach her how to calm herself down, to put herself to sleep, because she has a tendency to put her leg over the edge and crawl out. And we don't want her to do that and hurt herself. So we have to kind of, one of us has to be there at least. This weekend I'll be doing that on my own. You know, my fiance is kind of worried that, you know, I'll be able to just, you know, not pay attention to her, or, you know, when she cries, I know that she needs to cry to put herself to sleep, because, you know, it wears her out, and she needs to learn how to put herself to sleep and to calm and soothe her own self. I had a problem with it when I was a kid. It was difficult for me. My parents were really, you know, I know that they were stressed out dealing with me, and so I know that this is kind of not really karma, but just, you know, your parents are sort of, you know, they secretly kind of, you know, like, wait till they have a kid, then they're going to understand how difficult they were, you know, type of a thing. And so I understand how difficult it is to be a kid, especially one with a kid that has an issue. And she never really had problems going to bed until, you know, we had to teach her to sleep in her own bed. And it's, you know, it's I don't know how difficult I was. From what my parents tell me, I was a difficult kid to get to sleep at night. But the funny thing is, like, now that I'm, you know, 36 years old, it's I have no problem getting to bed. Just ask anyone. Ask my girlfriend. You know, she's like, oh, okay, now the baby's asleep, let's talk about your day. And I'm like, you know, it's just, I just have no problem getting to sleep now. I know that I run at a high intensity all day. You know, I have a high level of energy, but when the light goes out and I put a book in my hand, I read a couple paragraphs, I'm getting down to falling asleep. I do struggle some nights, but, you know, that's when my mind's kind of rapidly going. And there's days when, if I don't get a workout in, like today, I'll sleep like a baby tonight. I know that for a fact, because I got up at 3. I did a run, I worked out some upper body stuff, I did 250 push-ups, but I know that, and I'll do another workout at lunch, but I know that tonight I'll sleep really well. So I know that throughout the whole day, I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. Some people can't guarantee that or understand what that feels like, but it feels great. So I couldn't sleep as a kid, but I sleep really well now, and I control my sleep better than most people because I ran up to Summerland on Sunday up in Mount Rainier National Park, and I was up at, my body just woke me up at 2:30 in the morning, and I was ready to roll up there to catch the sunrise up at Summerland. So we're at the trailhead at like 4:30, and I was ready to roll. And some people don't go to bed until it's so late where they don't get a full night's sleep until it's time to wake up and go to work the next day. So with me, I get a full night's sleep, and then I can wake up early and do what I need to do, or do what I want to do in order to feel well. So it's it's a good thing. But with our daughter, I just hope that if she does have a problem getting to sleep as a kid, I hope it gets better from here. And I have a good feeling in my heart that it will be. It's just a transitional phase. But I got up this morning, 3 o'clock. There's a photo I posted. It was actually one of the better, cooler ones that I've taken with my Nikon. I actually crawled out onto someone's roof of the house, and I caught the sunset over a field. It was a farm out in Yakima, and just the way that it brought out, you can see all the greens, the shading, the light is perfect. It's that they call magic hour, which happens between, it's around 5 p.m.ish in the evening and lasts for a little bit. Because everything, it looks wonderful at that point, and that's where photographers of landscape photography, they like to capture those, or anyone else that even captures maternity shoots or graduation shots, they do those at that time of day. So I got a good shot posted this morning, and I will be shooting. One of my buddies works for a police department around here, and I'll be doing a photo shoot for him and his canine. Probably try to set it up today or tomorrow and get him in for next year's calendar. He's got a big German Shepherd, black, named Krieger. Beautiful dog, very strong, very big. So we're gonna do that. And then this morning I woke up, I was up at 3. I took care of that, did a little workout. I started watching. And then also last night when I got home early from work, I folded laundry, and then I started watching this documentary. I took a group of my employees up to Mount Rainier National Park, up to sunrise, and we did the Mount Fremont lookout hike. And I had one person turn back because they sort of were doubting themselves at the very beginning. If any of you have done that hike, the beginning portion of it is kind of a steady incline, and it definitely gets the wind out of you. It doesn't matter how fit you are, you're gonna start breathing heavier, and you're gonna feel a little bit of a like a sense of like this is gonna be a workout in the beginning. But after that, it just it's pretty smooth sailing from there until you reach Frozen Lake, and then you get that incline, and then that final climb up to Mount Fremont lookout. But we did that, and one of the guys that I was talking to, he's never hiked before, but he told me that he watched this documentary on Netflix, and it's called A New High, and it was filmed I think in 2012 in Seattle, and it follows around this group of a homeless mission in Seattle that helps addicts. And what they were doing was finding addicts. There's cocaine and heroin and pills and alcoholics and cocaine addicts, and basically training them to climb Mount Rainier. I haven't finished it yet, but he told me about it, and I started watching yesterday. It's actually pretty good, and the fact that it's local, and I recognize all the scenery, and to show the training regimen that they go through, because some people look at people on a mountain, and it takes a lot of practice. And I've climbed Mount St. Helens a few times, and it's a little different when you're climbing that opposed to Mount Baker or Mount Rainier or even like Mount Shasta or Mount Whitney. It's a little bit different because of the elevation and sort of the grade of the incline. But and some of the rope and techniques you have to learn. I don't know any of that stuff. I would love to learn. I would love to. One of these days, I want to climb Rainier. I will climb Rainier. It's just going to take. I think I have what it takes physically to do it. I just need, the technical skills and to either A, know the people to do it, or B, the money to pay someone to take me up there as a guide and give me the equipment that I need, the training and here to step here, here to step there. Going across one of those ladder bridges with a pair of crampons on and ropes and looking down to the crevasse. It's definitely a fear of mine, and I have a lot to lose now, but I would still be, excited about doing that. I just want to do that because, in that movie, I've only made it through maybe a quarter of it, but he talked about how, in life you get these challenges and these mountains to climb, as a metaphor. And in life, if you can climb your life mountain and fail at climbing a physical mountain, you still win. But if you climb your life mountain and a physical mountain, it's a win-win. And then in life you can climb a mountain but not climb the mountain in your own life, you lose. And it just shows that you can doubt yourself, and you can also set yourself up to train for anything, and you can do anything. I think a lot of people get into training and just the outdoors type stuff to kind of stretch the barrier, their own self limitations, because everybody has their doubts, but you can learn how to do a backflip or a front flip, or do an ollie, or do skateboarding or parkour, things like that. Everyone starts at a certain point, and they all have doubts and they all have fears, and but after getting comfortable with it, pretty soon you can do anything you set your mind to, and your body is only limited by the mental limitations you put on yourself, saying I can't do that. But once you understand that you can do that, and you start allowing yourself to try things physically that you never thought were possible, you start overcoming those odds, and you start exceeding that and going above and beyond what you thought was never possible in your own life. And that just fascinates me, because I've had to do that myself, and I still push myself often, and when I wake up like this morning, when I started my run at 5 o'clock, since I had 2 days, anyone who runs or hikes or does physical activity strenuous, you feel it not the day after, you feel it 2 days later. And so if you hike on a Sunday, you're really going to feel it on Tuesday. So here it was, I hiked and trail ran 9 miles on Sunday, felt pretty good yesterday, and this morning I felt more sore than I normally do. And the first kind of mile into my 3-mile run was kind of rough. It was, I felt it. I definitely felt the knees, I felt the ankles, I felt the hips, I felt the hammies. But then once you start getting in that flow, and it just becomes like nothing, man. I just find that running and trail running on Sunday was just awesome. It was probably one of the best trail runs I've ever had. It was just because Summerland's so smooth and so well put together and maintained that running all the way down is not a problem at all. And so while you're running, or while I'm running, it's just thoughts go through my head, and I think about things, and that's what we don't get a chance to do a lot, is to just think, to turn off our phones and to not be around stimulation all the time, and just to be susceptible and be vulnerable to what is around us. And when you're running, trail running, especially, it adds a dimension of danger, because if you're not wide awake and paying attention 100% and anticipating your next step and the step after that, so it's sort of like chess. You're thinking 3 steps ahead, because you got to watch out on the trail about where to step here or there, because if you make one wrong step, you can roll your ankle and you're stuck, or you could slip and fall, and you could land on a root and impale yourself, or tear something, or cut yourself really bad. Hiking is, it has its own dangers itself, but when you're running on a trail, and especially going downhill, the momentum of your body going downhill It's easier to run downhill on a trail because you're just basically allowing your body weight and the momentum of yourself going downhill, and you're just moving your legs. You're not pushing off and trying to go faster and faster. You're just allowing your body weight to carry you down. You just use your legs as sort of like stilts, and it makes it a lot easier, and it's and for those of you who hike, who use trekking poles like that, if it's a flat or sort of a less rocky, more of an even a trail towards the end or on the decline, that hiking, when you hike and you land your foot down like this, you're going like this, you're pounding bone on bone, and so you're gonna feel it in your knees. So the natural, I guess the anatomy of your body, with your legs bent, you're using your muscles and your ligaments and your tendons as buffers to that pressure and that pounding, and so you don't feel it in your knees, and it's a lot easier on your legs, and it's, you get down quicker. But the thing I like about it though is you're thinking ahead, and you're wondering where your feet's going to go, and pretty soon you just get into the zone. And while you're in that zone, you just start thinking about life. You start thinking about what's going on in your life. Where are you? What do you want to do? And after you get done with this challenge, what's next? And then you finish. And the thing for any of you who have hiked, a decent hike to where, or even trail ran, or even a run, or anything, even riding a bike or doing something physically challenging to where you exhaust everything in your body, and you're, at the end, like at the last quarter mile, we were probably running at like 15 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour down that hill. We're just booking it, trying to finish strong. And you get to the parking lot, and you turn off your GPS and the watch, and I just remember I was breathing so hard, and it was just, the thing is, like, your body is so tired, but you feel so good because you did it. It's a sense of accomplishment. It's a sense of starting your day off right, and just doing what you love. And that's just, to me, that's what makes it all worth it. And so running itself and trail running, you just get into the zone, and your mind just goes away. It just does. It just all the things that you think are problems in your life, you can either think about them and kind of come up with solutions and different alternatives and ideas, or you just start thinking about other things, and you feel like you actually sat down in a chair and thought about your life for a while, but you're actually just running and getting physical exercise at the same time. So that's another cool thing about running and trail running and hiking and all that. It just allows yourself to disconnect and to get caught up in the moment and just live and not worry about other things. The only thing you have to worry about is your safety, and your health, and hydrating yourself and keeping yourself replenished with the right nutrients, because you can't eat like garbage when you're doing that kind of stuff. You just can't. And so I can't, I just ran on for about 6 minutes about talking about getting lost and running and hiking and trail and all that stuff. But for those of you who know me or understand what it's like to be in that kind of a mindset, you understand. And it's an amazing thing, and it's just one of those things that you can't really explain. You just have to be there to understand it or enjoy it yourself, and then you can understand where someone's coming from. So I have the Enchantments hike next weekend. I'm a little nervous about that because like the last time that I did it, I didn't prepare for it. That was the time where I knew I had no one else to blame but myself, and I put myself in a position where I was lightheaded. I did not get enough electrolytes. I didn't get the proper nutrition, and my feet were just obliterated at the end of that hike, and I was just drawn out. I was dead. That last like 3 miles down towards Snow Lake trailhead was just brutal, and I was like, it was miserable for me. And this year I missed out, and I think they went in June or July. I think maybe July, and I missed out because of my ankle. But now it's like I'm ready, and I'm gonna take this on, and I'm gonna succeed, and I'm gonna make last year just a memory, because I'm gonna do so much better than I did last year, because I'm planning ahead, and I'm ready to, not let what happened last year happen again. And that's the point where we all fail in life, but it's failures are learning experiences, and I learned my lessons, so I'm ready for it. So I've gone on for 20 minutes. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.